Again, welcome. My name is Chad Bartram, General Manager of Benton PUD. On behalf of the Benton PUD Commissioners Barry Bush, Jeff Hall, and Lori Sanders, I would like to welcome you to the commissioning of the first of 9 DC fast charging stations throughout central and southeast Washington. A pilot project sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Transportation Alliance, or EVITA for short. We can't handle the rest of that, so we use EVITA. EVITA was formed by 6 consumer-owned utilities, sponsored by TRIDEC and led by Energy Northwest, with the mission of spurring investments in electric vehicle, or EV, infrastructure in our communities. Toward this end, EVITA formed a public-private partnership with Green Lots and EV4 to apply for a grant sponsored by the Washington State Department of Transportation. The goal of our pilot project is to bridge the gap between the east and west sides of our state and ease range anxiety for drivers, which is viewed as a key factor in the decision to purchase an electric vehicle, while gathering data and learning more about EV charging as it relates to our electric infrastructure here at Benton PUD. Keep in mind that the transportation sector is by far the largest carbon dioxide emitter in this state. This pilot project is one small but important step toward a wider vision of a robust EV market that can create a triple win. It can create a win for the environment because EVs will be powered by homegrown, clean, and reliable energy. It'll be a win for our communities because it helps eliminate the range anxiety for travelers visiting our area and provides another charging option for local owners. And over the long run, it's going to be a win for utilities and the customers because EVs can increase utility asset utilization, spread fixed costs over a larger base, and ultimately reduce utility rate pressures. Relative to this Southridge charging station here, first of 9, Benton PUD owes a big thank you to our key community partner, the City of Kennewick, which has provided this site as part of their sustainability initiative. They gave us a great site. It's really important. Highway 395, Interstate 82 is up the hill, and then we have a lot of hospitality businesses, and we have the hospital here too. So thank you to the Kennewick City Council and City Manager Marie Mosley for all of your support. Thank you.
And as you can see, we are very fortunate here in this state because we are 92% carbon free, in large part as a result of hydro and nuclear. So big shout out to Energy Northwest and the big representation that we have here today from Energy Northwest. And this charging station is going to go a long way to reducing carbon emissions from our vehicle and transportation sector. However, more importantly, and what's near and dear to my heart, is that it's going to drive people, no pun intended, well maybe pun intended, it's going to drive people here to this fabulous location where we've got a piece of the World Trade Center. We've got an indoor sports pavilion. We have a 1910 hand-carved Charles Carmel carousel. This is Americana. I am so proud that we have all this here today. So thanks everyone for braving the heat and coming out.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I'm very honored to have the opportunity to be here today for the commissioning of this charging station, the first of 9 that we'll be involved with here in the Northwest and in Washington State. I think if you take a look, it's clearly the project's success has been due to the great teamwork that's taken place. Everybody who's been involved with this particular project working together. And from an Energy Northwest perspective, this type of project interests us because we think it's something where we can provide a service, if you will, to our members here in the Northwest, bringing some of our experience and our valuable employees' knowledge. And to that end, I want to recognize Robin Rago, as mentioned earlier, Jenny Harper, for the work you did. Thank you very much for the work you've done to make this happen. I also, from an Energy Northwest perspective, I know Brent Ridge is here, our Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, who is taking over the Energy Services Development area. And I know Brent and I have talked a lot about going forward, looking for more opportunities like this, if you will, to work with our members to provide that. So, you know, stating the obvious, this charging station, you know, not only benefits the drivers, but as pointed out earlier by Senator Brown, it's the carbon-free footprint that we're very, very proud of here. And, you know, we're going to conserve energy, reduce energy costs, prevent harmful air emissions, and, you know, using this clean technology. Finally, I'd like to recognize all the our partners in these different projects that are taking place. Certainly Benton PUD. We're also involved with Franklin PUD, the City of Richland, Energy Services, Benton and REA, City of Ellensburg Energy Services, and TRIDEC, and then finally Green Lots and EV4 for partnering with us to make this happen. We're very excited to get this first one up and running and looking forward to the rest to come down the road. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. They often say that it is all about the journey, but it would be nice to arrive at the destination. And today is proof that we have. Speaking about the journey, it has had its fair share of challenges with quite a diverse team of utilities, public agencies, and private parties. But the relationships that were forged were indeed productive and have led to where we are today. EVITA. So Chad talked about what it stands for. Quite a mouthful, so I won't repeat it. It was created through activities associated with Mid-Columbia Energy Initiative, and this group was developed by TRIDEC to focus on energy issues in the Mid-Columbia region. So EVITA's mission is to advocate for sustainable electric transportation infrastructure in Southeast Washington and take action to promote public-private partnerships for the development of electric vehicle charging stations to link Eastern and Western Washington. EVITA members recognize that sustainability and minimizing their carbon footprint are common objectives for many individuals and businesses, particularly the next generation of energy consumers. In addition, EVITA members and partners recognize that electric vehicles are a key component to the carbon reduction objectives being promoted by federal and state legislators, and that electric vehicles represent an opportunity for utilities to preserve or even grow revenues in an era when most are experiencing small or declining load growth rates. So we've already heard about the members of EVITA, so I will not repeat that. For the purpose of this project, these members, these 5 utilities, TRIDEC and Energy Northwest, have partnered with Green Lots. And so Green Lots, and Tom will tell us more about that, is a provider of electric vehicle charging and energy management solutions. So we've also partnered with EV4, a Portland-based company which designs, installs, and operates electric vehicle charging stations. So Green Lots and EV4 have partnered previously on EV charging stations in Washington and Oregon. So the Washington State Department of Transportation's EVIP, so here's another acronym, Antonia can talk more about that, stands for Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Partnership Program, was developed to promote DC fast charging station installation along Washington highway corridors. WashDOT awarded a $405,000 grant to Energy Northwest as coordinator of the EVITA project. Other project stations you've heard before will be located in Pasco, Richland, Cornell, Prosser, Yakima, Ellensburg, Clay Elum, and George. As I was quoted in the newspaper this morning, if we build it, they will come.
So first of all, thank you all for coming out. This is wonderful, and I want to encourage all of you to have this memory in mind when in the future you're driving by and you're just seeing a random bolt or a leaf or someone else charging here. Because, you know, as Robin said, it really is a journey to get to this point, even though it seems like just one little station here. But the reality is it really takes a village to put these things together. And for Greenlots, first of all, this was a policy decision for us. This was not a business decision for us. We really felt that being involved in the EVITA group with these groups of PUDs, with the communities, with ultimately WSDOT supporting a lot of the financial burden, we really felt that this was necessary to move forward the market in Washington State for what we do, which is providing software and services around EV charging, but really for everyone who's thinking about getting a new vehicle or leasing a new vehicle or borrowing someone else's vehicle to really feel comfortable getting into an EV. And so this part of Washington State, to be frank, prior to this program, wasn't getting a whole lot of love or attention in this space. And so it was really a wonderful opportunity for us to kind of put a firm stake in the sand that we really wanted to move this market forward and be involved in that process. But I do want to really give a strong shout out to a lot of the folks who you've heard about already. So for Greenlots, we could not have been involved in this if Hans and EV4 weren't part of the team. Hans really has been a tireless worker and has really kind of embodied the labor of love that this has taken to come together. But really, Chad and James in particular from the Benton team, the Energy Northwest team have been wonderful. This sort of thing, it doesn't happen on its own. It really takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and really passion. And that's what's been so wonderful about this project for Greenlots is we've really seen so many different organizations come together, show their passion for really a shared vision, which, you know, one charging station may not be properly representative of, but we really feel that this is the future of mobility in Washington. We feel there's a wonderful opportunity from an economic standpoint to really change how we've been spending money on energy, how we've been spending money on fuel. So anyway, I'll turn it over to Tonya, who, as WSDOT, has really been a leader in this space. I'm wearing this, yes, this West Coast Electric Highway PIN logo, which I can tell you I've been wearing for 4 years since I got into this industry, because WSDOT has really been at the forefront of moving forward transportation electrification, not just in Washington, not just on the I-5 corridor, but really across the country. And so it's wonderful to be a part of this project and see WSDOT continuing to lead the way in this space.
I am so excited to be here in Kennewick to celebrate this auspicious occasion with all of you. It's partners like you that make it possible to have charging like this and to help share the vision of Washington State to provide charging locations along all of our highway corridors. And so today we're celebrating a huge milestone, this new attraction in this hot spot, really hot. I have the sweat. And it's going to help the residents in this community, and it's also going to help EV drivers that come to visit the city. Well, among EV drivers, this area is actually kind of known as an EV charging desert. So by having this charger here, it's kind of an oasis for EV drivers. And once the other stations are installed along the corridor, people will be able to drive from here to Seattle, to Spokane, and other locations. So we're really excited to open up the roads for EV drivers. And this is a very important travel corridor for electric vehicle drivers. And it's really it's a milestone to have this particular charger as part of a grand network. But it's also a part of our vision for public-private partnerships. You've already heard how it takes a village. Many of you have been involved in this project. And This is a very unique project because it's actually the funding that came from WashDOT actually comes from electric vehicle drivers themselves. There are more than 25,000 electric vehicle drivers, and they pay a $150 fee to register their vehicle each year. And a portion of that goes into this EV infrastructure pilot program. So that's where we have the funding. So it's EV drivers and all of you that are making this possible. Very exciting. I would like to acknowledge our legislators for their forward thinking, for providing funding for EV drivers and making this happen. And this was a big project for Governor Inslee, and I did hear him say that he looks forward to driving out here with his wife Trudy in their new Bolt. And it's really all the partners here. You've already heard all of these partners. Jenny Harper's been fabulous to work with. Thank you so much. And Hans Vandermeer have been really the contacts that I've been working with the most. And it's just been such a pleasure to work with all of you. We have Robin Rigaud, of course, from Energy Northwest. City of Kennewick, thank you for this wonderful spot. Green Lots, and all the partners here today, thank you for making this happen. We have a few from WashDOT. We have Troy Swing right there, who is with our South Central region. Many of you probably worked with him on other projects. And the South Central region is actually putting in additional funding for making this network possible. And so we're all sharing in a vision with the state and the nation that electric vehicle travel is affordable, energy independent, and emission free, or 92% emission free. So I'm really thrilled to be here at the beginning of this exciting time. Thank you.